Dikduk umasoret hamikra Parashat Behaalotecha 6. We're going to continue with the two Pesukim that are one after another referenced Kuma and Shuvah. The first one we discussed before. Vayibitzu Aaron vayom Moshe Kuma Adonai v'yafutzu oyevecha v'yanusu mesanecha mipanecha. The second one, Pasuk Lamed Vav and Perek Yod. Uvnocho yomar Shuvah Adonai livevot afei Yisrael. Together, translation could be the following. When the ark traveled, Moshe would say, "Arise, O Lord, let your enemies be scattered, and those who hate you flee from before you." When it rested, Pasuk 36, Lamed Vav, he would say, "Return, O Lord, the myriads, the thousands of Israel." The words that I want to focus on in this case are Kuma and Shuvah. They're unusual because normally they would be Milael, Kuma, and Shuvah. But because we've said this before several times, when you have a word that ends with a kamatz, like that type of sound, and a very similar sound in the next word, the following word, Kuma Adoshem. The first sound out of the name of Kadosh Baruch Hu, Adoshem, is like an ah after a ha. And if you said Kuma, you two words that sound like one word. You're actually almost confusing and maybe dropping the sound for the first letter ah of a Kadosh Baruch Hu. Same thing with, instead of Shuvah, you said Milael. You said it on the first syllable. It would have been pronounced Shuvah Hashem, Shuvah Adoshem, and the va and the ah get mixed up, and it sounds like it's one word instead of two words. And Has v'shalom, you're leaving out one of the words, a letter of a Kadosh Baruch Hu's name. Because of that, the word Shuvah and Kuma become Kuma and Shuvah. It becomes Melera. Because once you do that, there's always a pause after the first word. Kuma Adoshem, Shuvah Adoshem. And you wouldn't lose the sound of the Aleph, Ah, from HaKadosh Baruch Hu's name. That's very similar, we've talked about in the past, Parashat Behaalotecha, Lama Adoshem. Instead of Lama, and in many cases it's Lama, when you don't have the sound of, let's say, an Ah or a Ha right after the word Lama. For example, in Parashat Shemot, Lama Haderota, again, the Rashbam mentions over there, that in order not to lose the hey of Haderota, it becomes Lama, not Lama Haderota, where the two sounds are almost identical. Now, just a little comment. In Tefillat Musaf, before Tefillat Musaf, with the Sfaradim, we say, a couple of sentences there. The first one is Shuvah Lim'onach. The first sentence it starts Shuvah Lim'onach. The second sentence right afterwards, it says Shuvah Adoshem, this pasuk. Shuvah Adoshem v'yafutzu v'yanusu misanecha Shuvah Hashem livevot afei Yisrael. So the first one is Shuvah Lim'onach. Why is it Shuvah Milael? Because you don't have a hey or an aleph sound after that. You have a lamed. Shuvah Lim'onach is fine. That's the way the word is supposed to be pronounced. Milael. But when you have Shuvah Adoshem Rivevot Afei Yisrael, if you had Shuvah Adoshem, you'd lose the aleph from God's name. So therefore, it becomes Melera, the way we have it here in the pasuk. The pasuk itself is read over there before Tefillat Musaf. So it's Shuvah Lim'onach, Shuvah Adoshem Rivevot Afei Yisrael.